How often do you see legendary motorcycles sold for less than half their worth? 2025's market shift has pushed dealers to slash prices like never before. The bikes on this list are going fast, and missing them could be your biggest regret. Miss it now and you'll never see these prices again. Number 14. Harley-Davidson Sportster, 1200. This one was built to eat up the miles, and it does so with effortless authority. The Sportster is one of those machines, but even legends aren't safe. With the younger buyers leaning toward cheaper EVs and urban commuters, traditional big twins like the Sportster are left gathering dust in showrooms. Built to deliver brute force on the open road, this heavyweight cruiser houses an 1,854 cubic centimeter V-twin, producing 79 horsepower and 126 pound-feet of torque. Stopping is managed by dual front disc brakes and a single rear disc, all supported by a standard anti-lock braking system for consistent control under pressure. One owner recalled a coast-to-coast trip where the bike's planted feel and smooth ride made every mile enjoyable. Wet weight reaches 957 pounds. Seat height measures 27.4 inches. This machine once carried a sticker of $24,999, but today dealers are letting them go for around $11,999. From the first twist of the throttle, the Sportster gives a feeling of connection that does not depend on technology or luxury features. The vibrations through the bars, the upright riding posture, and the growl from the exhaust are reminders of why many started riding in the first place. It is a motorcycle that feels alive under you, asking nothing more than open roads and time to enjoy them. Its reputation as a workhorse is secure, yet its loyal following proves that practicality and character can ride side by side. From here, the countdown shifts toward a machine that tempers tradition with a sharper edge and performance-minded engineering. Number 13. Yamaha Star Venture. Long-distance travel demands more than just horsepower. It calls for a machine that turns hours on the road into moments worth remembering. The Star Venture was built with that mission in mind, offering a presence that feels just as commanding parked in front of a small-town diner as it does rolling down an open highway. With bold bodywork and an unmistakable silhouette, it set out to challenge the most established names in luxury touring. Respected for its sheer torque and long-distance comfort, this heavyweight cruiser is powered by an 1,854 cubic centimeter V-twin, producing 79 horsepower and 126 pound-feet of torque. One rider shared how its effortless pull made towing a small trailer across state lines surprisingly smooth, proving its muscle on real highways. Braking duties are handled by dual front disc brakes and a single rear disc, all supported by a standard anti-lock braking system for steady, predictable stops. Wet weight comes in at 957 pounds. Seat height stands at 27.4 inches. Originally priced near $24,999, many showrooms now unload them for just about $12,500. Climbing aboard the Star Venture feels less like mounting a motorcycle and more like settling into a well-appointed cockpit. Wide bars meet a spacious saddle, and the fairing shape carves a protective pocket from the wind. Its V-twin pulses steadily beneath you, sending that slow, reassuring rhythm through the frame, a reminder that you are on a machine built for endurance. Riding forward, we meet a model that wears its heritage proudly while adding refinements meant for the long haul. If you're still with us, you're clearly a true rider at heart. Give this video a like to keep the engine running on future lists, and drop a comment telling us which bike you've ridden, or wish you could. Number 12. Victory Cross Country. Some touring bikes draw attention with chrome and nostalgia, but the cross country took a different path. Modern lines, a long, low stance, and a purpose-driven design built for riders who measure trips in states, not miles. Even years after production ended, its profile still stands apart from the crowd, offering a sleek alternative to more traditional touring silhouettes. It was a motorcycle created for covering serious ground with style and confidence. Known for blending power with approachable ergonomics, this bike runs a 1,731 cubic centimeter V-twin, producing 92 horsepower and 109 pound-feet of torque. A longtime rider noted that its comfortable stance made a week-long trip through the Rockies far less tiring than expected, highlighting its balance of strength and ease. Oversupply and Victory's shutdown left these machines stranded in dealer inventories. What was once a bold alternative to Harley now sits in limbo, a victim of a brand that disappeared overnight. Braking confidence comes from dual front disc brakes and a single rear disc, backed by a standard anti-lock braking system for added safety on unpredictable roads. Its combination of a conventional telescopic fork in the front and a single shock with adjustable preload in the rear gives it a smooth, planted feel in both city and highway conditions. Wet weight is 767 pounds. Seat height measures 26.25 inches. Once tagged at $18,499, these discontinued tourers are being cleared out for under $9,000. From the rider's seat, the cross-country feels solid and planted, built to keep a steady rhythm mile after mile. The wide handlebar sweep gives confident control, while the fairing channels wind away without robbing you of that open road connection. Spacious saddlebags swallow up gear for a week's ride, and the engine's smooth pull makes passing at highway speed effortless. A proven mix of comfort and dependability keeps it relevant decades after its debut. Our journey now steers toward a cruiser built to deliver raw torque in a package that commands respect at a glance. We've prepared the ultimate rider kit, gear that keeps you safe on the road without draining your wallet. Check the description for details. Number 11. Honda VTX 1800. Power cruisers live and die by the strength of their first impression, and the VTX 1800 made its presence known the moment it rolled into view. Long, muscular lines framed an engine that seemed to fill the entire frame, and a deep exhaust note announced that this was no casual boulevard machine. But as fuel costs rose and the cruiser boom cooled, demand crashed. Dealers were forced to slash prices just to move what used to be Honda's powerhouse. Favored for its strong road presence, this model is powered by a 1,795 cubic centimeter V-twin delivering 106 horsepower and 120 pound-feet of torque. Braking performance comes from dual front disc brakes and a single rear disc, supported by a standard anti-lock braking system to enhance control in varying conditions. One owner mentioned riding through 3 states in a single weekend without back strain, crediting the suspension for keeping fatigue at bay. Wet weight registers at 751 pounds, seat height measures 27.5 inches. A motorcycle that once sold for $12,499 can now be had for barely $6,000. Rolling on the throttle, the VTX 1800 offers a rush of torque that feels limitless, making highway passes effortless and two-up touring a pleasure. Its long wheelbase and low stance give it stability at speed, while the ergonomics keep the rider in a position of control without sacrificing comfort. Chrome accents and a broad fuel tank complete a look that manages to be both aggressive and refined. This is a motorcycle for riders who want the power to dominate the open road without giving up the polish of a well-finished machine. This blend of poise and power leaves a lasting impression, but the next machine trades subtlety for bold styling and an unmistakable street presence. Number 10. BMW R1200C. It's the kind of machine that turns an ordinary stretch of road into something memorable. The R1200C was one such machine, part cruiser, part tourer, and entirely distinct. Its bold styling, chrome accents, and unmistakable boxer engine made it stand apart in a world dominated by American V-twins. Yet quirky styling and a market obsessed with American V-twins meant sales never matched expectations. Dealers, stuck with unsold units, now treat them as clearance relics. Built for riders who value balance and control, this machine carries a 1,170 cubic centimeter flat twin, producing 61 horsepower and 72 pound-feet of torque. One rider recalled tackling winding mountain passes, praising how its smooth handling and even braking kept the ride enjoyable rather than exhausting. Stopping duties are managed by dual front disc brakes paired with a single rear disc, all backed by a standard anti-lock braking system for confident braking in varied conditions. A telelever front suspension works in harmony with a paralever rear setup, offering a stable and predictable ride. Wet weight is 570 pounds. Seat height measures 29.1 inches. This European cruiser launched at $15,990, yet dealers today are dropping them to the $7,000 range. From behind the bars, the R1200C offers a riding experience unlike any other cruiser of its time. The wide, flowing handlebars, low-slung seat, and forward foot placement create a laid-back posture while the Boxer engine delivers its power with a steady, deliberate pulse. Its appearance in a James Bond film only amplified its mystique, but even without Hollywood, it drew attention wherever it went. The sound is softer than a traditional V-twin, yet the personality is every bit as strong. Its confident stance and no-nonsense reliability make it a steady companion for miles. As we continue, we uncover a bike designed for riders who see touring as an art form. Number 9. Harley-Davidson Dyna Super Glide. Designed with the long haul in mind, it carries both comfort and power in equal measure. The Super Glide embodies that spirit, offering a stripped-back design that focuses on the essentials: power, handling, and the kind of style that does not fade with trends. For decades, it stood as the accessible big twin in Harley's lineup, attracting riders who wanted a pure American cruiser without unnecessary extras. Designed with a focus on timeless cruiser character, this bike is powered by a 1,584 cubic centimeter V-twin, generating 74 horsepower and 92 pound-feet of torque. One longtime owner shared that weekend rides along coastal highways always felt unhurried and steady, a reminder of why he chose this model years ago. Braking performance is supplied by a single front disc and a single rear disc, with the option for an anti-lock braking system added on later versions. Wet weight stands at 650 pounds. Seat height is 26.8 inches. What once demanded $12,999 now slips out the door for nearly half, around $6,500. From the rider's perspective, the Super Glide offers a straightforward connection to the road. The mid-mounted controls give a balanced riding posture, the wide bars allow confident steering, and the engine's low-end pull makes rolling through town or cruising the open highway equally satisfying. Its unpretentious nature is part of the charm. No flashy fairings, no excess chrome, just a solid frame wrapped around an engine that feels eager every time you twist the throttle. This is a bike that rewards riders who value substance over spectacle. Leaving this honest workhorse behind, we move to a machine from Japan that proves long-distance comfort and classic cruiser styling can share the same road. Number 8. Kawasaki Vulcan 1700 Vaquero. Every curve in its frame speaks to heritage, but the performance is undeniably modern. But overproduction hit hard. Japanese factories built more baggers than the market wanted, and suddenly Vaqueros were piling up in warehouses, forcing dealers to gut prices. Commanding attention on the open road, this heavyweight cruiser draws its power from a 1,749 cubic centimeter V-twin, producing 73 horsepower and 107 pound-feet of torque. A rider once described how the bike carried him across 3 states in a single weekend, never losing its composure or comfort. Braking confidence comes from dual front discs and a single rear disc, supported by a standard anti-lock braking system for consistent performance. Wet weight registers at 822 pounds, seat height is 28.7 inches. Dealers once pushed these at $16,899, but many are marked down to just over $8,000. On the highway, the Vaquero feels like it was built for endless horizons. The frame-mounted fairing shields the rider from wind without isolating them from the elements, while the low seating position encourages long, relaxed stints in the saddle. Generous saddlebags offer practical storage for extended trips, and the engine's steady pulse makes for a smooth, predictable ride. It is a motorcycle for riders who want comfort and style in equal measure, with a demeanor that is calm until called upon for acceleration. From this stylish tourer, we turn to a machine that carries the heart of a touring legend, but sheds the extra weight for a more aggressive stripped-back presence. Number 7. Honda Valkyrie. power, style, and endurance. This bike checks all three without breaking a sweat. The Valkyrie is firmly in the latter camp, a stripped-down power cruiser that carries the heart of Honda's flagship touring machine but wears none of its bulk. It is muscular, purposeful, and unmistakable, with a profile that looks fast even while standing still. In the performance touring class, this machine carries a 1,832 cubic centimeter flat-six engine producing 104 horsepower and 110 pound-feet of torque. Dual front discs and a single rear disc, paired with a standard anti-lock braking system, deliver smooth and controlled stopping power for long-haul riding. One longtime owner shared that even after a 1,000-mile road trip, the bike left him feeling less fatigued than any machine he had ridden before. Wet weight stands at 751 pounds. Seat height measures 28.8 inches. A machine that carried a $17,999 tag now shows up for under $9,000, almost unthinkable for a flat six. The first twist of the throttle on the Valkyrie delivers a wave of smooth, immediate acceleration, the kind that only a flat six can provide. Its low center of gravity makes it feel lighter than its size suggests, and the clean, minimal bodywork lets the engine take center stage. It is equally at home carving through sweeping curves or stretching its legs on a long, straight highway. The Valkyrie is for riders who want the engineering excellence of a Goldwing, without the full touring trimmings, trading windshields and fairings for raw, exposed power. From this performance-focused cruiser, we now turn to a machine whose legacy was built on decades of service as a dependable long-haul companion for riders across the country. Number 6. Harley-Davidson Road King. There's a certain confidence in the way this one takes on the open highway. It is a machine that has served as the backbone of countless cross-country journeys, equally at home in small-town parades and on endless stretches of interstate. Still, shifting regulations and emission standards are choking sales of big touring bikes. Dealers slash tags on Road Kings before they're legislated into obsolescence. Positioned among the classic American cruisers, this bike runs a 1,745 cubic centimeter Milwaukee 8 engine, producing 82 horsepower and 107 pound-feet of torque. Dual front discs and a single rear disc, all supported by a standard anti-lock braking system, offer dependable braking performance in a variety of riding conditions. One rider noted that on a week-long trip through the Rockies, the bike handled steep descents with ease, giving him confidence that matched the comfort of its classic stance. A traditional telescopic fork at the front is paired with rear shocks featuring adjustable preload, giving a stable and comfortable ride. Wet weight comes in at 825 pounds. Seat height is 27.4 inches. Once a $19,999 investment, the Road King is now trading hands at just above $10,000. On the road, the Road King feels steady and deliberate, built to carry its rider in unhurried confidence. The large windshield offers protection without hiding the world from view, and the hard saddlebags provide the practicality needed for long hauls. Its broad, cushioned saddle and floorboards make it easy to rack up miles without fatigue, while the engine's smooth pull makes every roll-on of the throttle satisfying. The Road King is a bridge between past and present, delivering the timeless look of a classic bagger with modern refinements in performance and reliability. From this icon of touring heritage, we turn to a motorcycle draped in fringe and chrome, one that celebrates American motorcycling's golden era in both spirit and style. Number 5. Indian Chief Vintage. Built for riders who prefer a commanding stance and a steady flow of torque. The Chief Vintage is exactly that, wearing its heritage proudly with fringed leather saddlebags, sweeping fenders, and just the right amount of chrome to catch the sun on a summer ride. It blends the romance of classic American motorcycling with the capability of a modern touring bike, making it a unique bridge between eras. Falling into the heavyweight cruiser segment, this model is powered by a 1,811 cubic centimeter Thunderstroke V's twin, producing 75 horsepower and 119 pound-feet of torque. Dual front discs and a single rear disc, all backed by a standard anti-lock braking system, ensure confident braking performance under load. A traditional telescopic fork handles the front, while a single rear shock with adjustable preload maintains stability and comfort over long distances. One owner shared that after riding coast to coast, the suspension never left him feeling beat up, proving the bike's design was built for serious miles. Wet weight registers at 848 pounds, seat height is set at 26 inches. These once sold for $20,999, but slashed prices bring them down to barely $10,000. The Chief Vintage invites you to slow down, its V-twin's deep rhythm matching the sweep of open highways. A tall windshield, detailed leatherwork, and roomy saddlebags blend style with touring function. More than transport, it's a storyteller's machine, leading us to a Yamaha famed for durability and unshakable torque. Number 4. Yamaha Roadstar 1700. This machine feels as solid at a standstill as it does at full cruising speed. It is a big, bold cruiser with the kind of presence that commands respect in any parking lot, built to offer a simple formula: strong engine, classic lines, and reliability that makes long ownership a pleasure. There is nothing complicated about its mission: to carry rider and passenger in comfort while delivering the feel of raw mechanical muscle. In the midweight cruiser category, this machine carries a 1,670 cubic centimeter air-cooled V-twin, producing 62 horsepower and 99 pound-feet of torque. One longtime rider recalled taking it on weekend mountain runs, noting that the power delivery felt smooth and dependable mile after mile. Dual front discs and a single rear disc, with later versions featuring a standard anti-lock braking system, provide reliable stopping in varied conditions. A conventional telescopic fork in the front pairs with dual rear shocks offering adjustable preload, giving the bike a balanced mix of comfort and stability. Wet weight is 748 pounds. Seat height stands at 27.9 inches. What was $12,499 new now often lists for close to $6,000. The Roadstar's steady, unhurried nature invites relaxed cruising, its long wheelbase offering a planted feel through curves. A low seat and wide bars keep control effortless, while its deep exhaust adds ceremony to every shift. With timeless chrome and stretch tank, it leads into sharper, performance-focused Japanese cruisers. Number 3. Harley-Davidson Fat Boy. The moment you roll on the throttle, it answers with unmistakable authority. With its solid disc wheels, muscular stance, and broad front end, it blends nostalgia with undeniable road presence. It is not a machine for blending in. It is for the rider who wants every stoplight to feel like center stage, backed by the deep cadence of a Milwaukee-built V-twin. Among heavyweight cruisers, this model runs a Milwaukee 8 114 engine displacing 1,748 cubic centimeters, producing 87 horsepower and 114 pound-feet of torque. But today the market crash has flipped the story. Harley's most iconic muscle cruiser is suddenly a hard sell in showrooms, caught between nostalgia and declining demand. Dual front discs and a single rear disc supported by a standard anti-lock braking system give it sure-footed stopping power whether in town or on the highway. A high-performance front cartridge fork pairs with a hidden rear monoshock to maintain a smooth yet responsive ride. Wet weight settles at 894 pounds. The seat height is 27.9 inches. A 20,199 Legend, now found in dealer lots for around $10,000. On the open highway, the Fat Boy feels planted and confident, its low center of gravity ideal for long hauls and sweeping turns. Its charm lies in its authenticity, unbothered by passing trends. That authenticity leads us toward a motorcycle that refuses to compromise between performance and heritage. Number 2. Harley-Davidson Electra Glide Ultra Classic. A purebred cruiser that knows how to make every mile count. Its commanding presence, generous storage, and road-soaking comfort have made it a trusted companion for riders who see the open road as a second home. The large front fairing and signature batwing silhouette announce its arrival long before the deep rumble reaches your ears. In the touring class, the Road King Special carries a Milwaukee 8 114 engine displacing 1,748 cubic centimeters, producing 90 horsepower and 122 pound-feet of torque. Dual front discs and a single rear disc, backed by a standard anti-lock braking system, give it dependable stopping performance even under load. One owner mentioned tackling a 3-state trip in a single weekend, saying the suspension left him far less fatigued than expected. Wet weight comes in at 929 pounds, seat height measures 29.1 inches, and once commanding 28,399, some are being cleared at just 14,000. The Electra Glide makes cross-country travel effortless with a plush touring seat, spacious passenger backrest, and a fairing that slices through headwinds. The road feels honest and unfiltered here, every mile carrying its own story. We close this gap with a flagship that defines what a modern American touring bike can be. Before we hit number 1, make sure you subscribe so you're first in line for every new ride we feature. From road-tested classics to hidden gems, we've got more stories, more torque, and more freedom coming your way. Join the ride. You won't want to miss it. Number 1. Harley-Davidson CVO Street Glide. Some motorcycles define a category, but the CVO Street Glide defines a feeling, one that blends prestige, craftsmanship, and sheer road presence into an unmistakable silhouette. For riders who want the height of Harley touring performance wrapped in a custom-inspired package, this machine delivers an experience that feels as exclusive as it looks. From the moment its distinctive front fairing cuts through the air, it commands attention in a way few bikes ever could. Yet even Harley's crown jewel isn't immune. EV mandates and shifting buyer taste have put pressure on dealers to cut nearly half off its price. A stunning fall for a prestige machine. The Milwaukee 8 121 V-twin in the CVO Street Glide produces 115 horsepower and 139 pound-feet of torque from a 1983 cubic centimeter displacement. One rider recalled cruising the Pacific Coast Highway, saying the effortless roll-on power made every pass and climb feel almost too easy. Many riders note its smooth power delivery, making both city and highway riding effortless despite its size. Dual front discs and a single rear disc supported by a standard anti-lock braking system deliver confident stopping power. A dual bending valve fork pairs with premium rear shocks, while the 875-pound wet weight and 26.1-inch seat height give a planted stance. Once a $42,999 flagship, some are being offloaded at nearly half, around $22,000. The CVO Street Glide blends custom paint, hand-applied finishes, and premium detailing into a striking touring platform. Its infotainment system, aerodynamic design, heated grips, and comfortable seating create long-haul ease. More than a motorcycle, it's a statement of style, heritage, and authority that sets the standard for the open road. That wraps up our list, but the road doesn't end here. If you enjoyed riding through these picks, hit that like button and share your own favorites in the comments below. Subscribe now to stay ahead of the curve on the best bikes, gear, and riding stories. Every week, we fuel your passion for the open road, so keep your throttle open and ride with us.